Hey everyone, welcome to Sabin Saga number 12. We're moving along nice here. Just doing voiceover. I wasn't, again, expecting to complete with this team, but hey, they work so well together. I'm bringing Serah for her debuffs and auras. Yes, she is massively resisted in this chaos. Bringing Sabin for the damage and the utility, and Yuri is sort of the key player here because of the gravity on all his attacks. I am bringing an Aranea friend. Let's be honest, I'm bringing someone like Serah who's getting massively resisted. She's going to have to spam abilities to battery the party, and so it makes more sense to take a friend unit that everyone has access to. So Yuri, I always like to start with, if he can break both of them, I typically start with that, with his, gosh, what is that ability? His skill one, Crystal Power. Serah got the buffs up. Sabin got started with Razor Gale for his Max Brave buff, so all pretty standard. Yeah, Yuri, you'll notice I generally spam skills. The only time that I don't spam a skill with Yuri is when he's got when his EX is almost charged. I'd much rather just use an HP plus because he has a perfectly fine HP plus. There's no reason, it's not a turn wasted or anything like that. So that's good. You do want to be mindful of his framed buff, which gets turned back on by Relic Crystal. So you generally don't want that to fall off. It's pretty inconvenient if it does. Serah, so the reason that I wanted to bring her is the boss after this is immune to defense down, and she actually has it framed in her EX debuff. So I thought that was pretty nice to enable the defense. It's a 20% down, but that's certainly nice. Now I will say one thing that I really should have been aware of is right there I spammed Moonlight. I just used Moonlight. I didn't have to use it. There wasn't really a huge benefit from it. Sabin's Aura Cannon Plus was going to battery him anyway, so I wasn't really worried. That's why I love Aura Cannon Plus, by the way. Keeping him healthy to take a few hits. You can see there Yuri's HP plussing because his EX is going to be charged. But anyway, I really shouldn't have used, I should be saving every Moonlight I have, because Wound is so useless in the last wave. It batteries based on the damage dealt, and she's going to be double resisted. I wasn't really thinking of that while I was playing here. This was my sort of blind playthrough. Mostly, I did try Selfie here. I will keep trying that team until it works. I'm sure it works if I was really dedicated, but yeah, you can see that Serah's double poison doing work to sap these guys before their turn when they're recovering from break. It's really helpful. Her debuffs are great. But yeah, I shouldn't have been using Moonlight very much here just to keep buffs up. Wound is going to be very useless in the next wave, and her EX keeps her framed buff up because I have her purpled. So yeah, I should have been thinking about that. Anytime Yuri uses his EX, he batteries the rest of the party, basically max. So Serah is almost always going to HP plus to battery Yuri back, rather than like waste a skill to do marginally more damage. So yeah, team is moving along pretty nicely. Yuri's got an extremely nice battery going. Want to keep Relic Crystal up. Also like making sure to use his abilities for the most part while Chalinka's out. If Chalinka's out, then it's pretty nice. Yeah, I had Sabin's EX here. I knew that it would be charged, which is why I aimed Serah's EX at the broken target already. Basically to make sure that there was splash, and also just it deals more damage. She's getting more critical hits. So no need to shave B when I already know Sabin's EX is up. Yep. Yuri just doing damage. Now, one thing to note is you'll see Sabin's got one turn left on his on his frame buff, and yeah, that's gonna drop off. It's really not worth wasting an ability just to keep his stacks up. It's not that hard to get them back. People make a, now that I've played Sabin now in, you know, 13 Chaoses, including Rosa Chaos. I actually never recorded that one. I'll go back and record it at some point, but you know, his stacks aren't that big a deal because his abilities are just, they're good. They do work regardless. So yeah, I'm gonna drop, should be dropping the debuffs with wound. Yep, and right there she gets instant turn rate, and now I'm probably gonna pause because I'm realizing, oh yeah, I should have used more of those wounds because they're not gonna do much. The EX is also, I used it again to drop their defense, but you'll notice throughout this run, I may save EX uses, waiting for her to get batteried up or for Yuri to have his Brave Regen up, because otherwise her EX just doesn't do much, and it certainly won't shave. So you can see her max Brave down debuff is doing some nice work here. The turn order is real nice here. Yuri is going to have a turn, so there's no reason for me to waste an ability with Sabin when he's got a lot of Brave. These guys are preventing the Yuri's Brave Regen, but you know, now that they're broken, the Brave Regen comes back. That's that buff that is annoying. I think I click on it later in the vid, just to validate. So here is one of the rare times that I'm gonna Brave Plus with Yuri, and it's only because he's being double targeted, and I didn't feel like taking a break. So he is, you know, you can see he's got one turn left on his on Chalinka's Prayer, so he's for sure using skill 2. There's no doubt that he'll be using that. So Sabin's got a lot of Brave here. Obviously, best thing to do. You'll notice throughout this run he's dealing maxed out damage. Even toward the end, I was really happy with his damage. Serah dropping her debuffs again. Sabin's got Phantom Rush. And yep, still doing 9s, even without the plus version, so he's not even ignoring defense, which is nice. They've got their attack buff up now, so the bosses, I know that if they're in the attack mode, they're gonna use more HP attacks. They have this dash cut that gains them a ton of Brave and buffs them. They do resist physical, also, which is why Lulu's really helpful here for people. She just bypasses the entire fight, lets you ignore it, use whoever you want, which is why Lulu is so good. She sort of enables your other characters to do work. Sabin's got battery, so it's nice to use Aura Cannon there just to deal a bit more damage. So Serah's getting targeted here by both of them. So, yeah, Brave Plus is probably good. I doubt I'm going to do it. Yeah. I don't want her to grab turns, really, and if the others were being targeted, that would be fine. She still does, I mean, it's poor damage, but it's, considering she's double resisted, dealing 34k on an EX is not the worst, I guess. Yuri always uses EX when it's up. It's pretty straightforward there. This team is actually just very well balanced. Serah is controlling them completely with all of her debuffs. She's giving 100% attack aura. I do have her arts are perfect. She's one of my absolute favorites. My favorite in DFFOO for sure. Just like overall from a. I've had her for so long. Sabin is my favorite unit to use now, though, and favorite from all of FF. So yeah, Serah's perfect, and she's gonna control the bosses so nicely. Like, look at that, draining 9k from that from them before their turn, which is just excellent. Yuri, this is an automatic skill 1 to break them. The skill 1 has gravity, so it's really nice taking down multiple targets or a high brave total. So Sabin's maxed out, so it makes sense for him to just dump his brave with HP plus. And yep, so yeah, this guy's got an all attack, so it's nice that Serah batteries the two. Note that wound won't really battery them at all because of the resistance. He switched to guard mode, which is a defense buff, and you can see Yuri was dealing 6k non-critical there, but he still broke the enemy. That is Serah's auras doing work. He's also got his own auras from Chalinka up. It's just such high auras that they really can not worry about enemy defenses. She helps a lot. Sabin's utility comes in really nice here, just being able to keep himself batteried, doing splash damage, delaying occasionally, and just dealing a lot of, he really does do a lot of damage. That's 9k like non-crit that he's dealing on a non-plus version. And now he's got his plus Phantom Rush. This is always going to deal, with this team, with these auras, yeah, that will always deal max damage, which is great. Yeah, Yuri, I really like playing with him. These guys are weak to holy anyway, but just the fact that Sabin can automatically imperil in wave 1 and Yuri's hitting weakness damage is just so nice. That they really do pair very nicely together, and it's why I plan to EX token Paladin Cecil. I've been saving my Dimensions End Order tokens for all this time. So this is really awkward. So I didn't want to use my EX because I wanted to do the battery into launch. And I can't target the other guy. She's not going to shave him. She's not going to deal any damage to him. So there's Sabin's delay. Or he was just shaving. Sorry, that wasn't his delay. And Serah's poison cleaning up. So even though Serah isn't at her peak efficiency, when you look at sort of, hey, what makes these bosses really annoying? Okay, they're really annoying because they gain lots of brave. They have buffs that they sort of require for you to be broken. They occasionally get some really weird turns. Like you can look at the turn order here is really, really strange. That A is getting 2 turns pretty close together. So if you don't have a good brave shaver there, then it's quite awkward. So you have to be aware of that. Like here, Yuri, I know is not going to get broken, so I know that he'll be able to shave. So I don't really mind the fact that this is going to deal damage. Also, his EX Chalinka's out, so he's going to heal any amount of damage. These guys won't be able to one-shot you at this point in the fight. Just have to shave one, so it makes sense to use Relic Crystal. Serah's poison taking care of the other one. She really helps negate a lot of the annoyance of the bosses with their brave gains, and then Yuri breaks them non-stop. So just the two of them, based on the power of Yuri in this fight, Serah doesn't have to deal damage. She just has to be able to battery the party. So it's pretty fine. So yeah, here I'm again thinking, like, do I really want to, he's got his shield up. I'm not going to use my EX against him because then I'm only going to get 50% splash. Using EX, I ended up going with wound. And then she got another turn again. So that was definitely a waste of a turn. I should have checked the turn order. But now I'm just going to end up moonlighting. So instead of, that was just a total waste. Using the EX on B would have been much more efficient, and it would have done the 50% splash. So not as good, but what I did was a far worse line, I would say, of not checking turn order and using an ability that's mostly resisted. Yep, they've got their attack up now, so this is starting to get into the late game of the fight. I do not want them to put their defense buff up, which comes after this. You can see Sabin still dealing 9s. And so, so yeah, Serah, Serah's gonna end up getting swapped. You can see she's starting to get low on abilities. Normally, I wouldn't swap my character that has auras, but Yuri has auras also. So he's supplementing it. I checked the turn order to make sure that I'm gonna be okay here. And yeah, Sabin's got plenty of abilities. You can see his EX is almost charged, so I don't want to use an ability there. I don't want to use Aura Cannon or anything. He's going to be able to EX on his next turn. Yuri has a ton of abilities left. The fact that his EX recharges abilities is great. He just gives him so much longevity. Serah doesn't. I use her last C65 here, but she's running out of sort of good options, which is why she had to brave attack there to try and keep most of the team batteried up. Specifically Yuri. I did not want Yuri to get broken and then give B another turn right away. So I'm checking to see which buff they've got, and it's preventing physical attacks, which doesn't matter. Yuri is bypassing it with the Holy Imperil from himself and from Sabin, so not really any problem there. Again, Serah's controlling the Brave throughout the battle. The double poison and sap combo is great. So Sabin's gonna. I don't know that I needed to do this, and you'll see why later. I probably could have saved my C65 there and just used my EX, but yep, this does a clean 155k's worth of damage, which is great. Yuri has his, he's got his auras up now from Chelinka, and this is as good a time as any to get to it and likely swap. So I'm checking turn orders and seeing if there's anything else I could do. Normally here I'm just gonna HP plus, but that's, yeah, I think it's time to get to it. So let's bring in Aranea, the myth, the legend. I won't normally use her. You can see how good she is with Yuri, because Yuri just batteried her for 12k, along with her own regen. These bosses are weak to ice because of Kam'lanaut being the synergy, and it's his own event. So you bringing Shiva, yeah, they're all going to be dealing. Aranea specifically will be dealing weakness damage. Sabin and Yuri have been dealing weakness damage all along, but that's just nice. So I've got a lot of Brave. I'm going to get a lot of overflow. It makes sense to use Aura Cannon here. Deal over 100k damage. You can see that Sabin actually does more damage than Yuri. I just want to point that out. Sabin doesn't have auras or anything like that, or healing, not the roll coverage, but from a damage dealer perspective, Sabin is dealing. He's been dealing damage throughout this. So Aranea is doing some good work. I'm going to get the AOE delay. I haven't really needed to use the delay out. I think there was one other time I used it that it was useful, but the delay is fine here. When they've got some really bad turn orders, it's great. So Serah's back. Just here, the HP plus is way better. Moonlight isn't going to deal much damage. It's going to be split, and I'd rather battery Yuri and Sabin. So just keeping their damage equal. When you kill one, the other one just increases his speed, which means they're more likely to get out of control. So I'm going to use my AoE delay. It's not great. I was hoping the other one, it's only going to get Sabin moved up because of the break order. The break order wasn't favorable there, but I may as well use my C65. No reason not to. Here, this is an automatic. Moonlight wound doesn't do anything. You can see I've got 2 wounds that are sitting there that are basically going to get wasted. Here, it makes... This is, again, where Serah is really useful. I can basically ignore A. I don't care that he has Brave, because he's going to get sapped of his Brave anyway. So I just don't want this guy to do the HP attack right before the battle's over. So let's try to kill him. Cool. yeah, 150,000 in red near magic pixel status tends to make sure that they get eliminated. Serah's got very little left in the tank. So here is where Yuri still has a lot of abilities. I wanted his EX, but I mean, he's still dealing 9s across the board. And yeah, this guy has an all attack. So Serah's EX is the best thing because she's got the Brave gain and she's mostly resisted. And there we go. Did it. We were getting pretty short on turns. It was getting pretty close, but yeah, team is really fun. I would not be surprised if I use this team more often. I got screenshot happy there. If I use this team more often in Chaos, it's two of my favorites, and Yuri just complements the two of them incredibly well. Really, really fun Chaos. Don't need to pull, which is great. Kam'lanaut is getting hated on pretty bad. People thought in the infographic that I was nice to him. I'm sorry, but if I indicate that, you know, hey, if you get broken 2 or more times in battle, you're going to waste 4 turns. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So read the analysis, please. You'll notice that, you know, it's pretty bad. Just wanted to show you all my spheres, but I did plus Totto. I don't know if I'll 3-3 her. We'll see. But I hope everyone likes the event. Oh, shout out to Jin Lee. I'll try to leave a link to his video. He goes over Kam'lanaut, I think, really, really fairly in his video. And so definitely worth a watch of a really, really good content creator. But yeah, that'll do it. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy.